Travis? Now all of a sudden I can't get Twitter. Oh, there it is. There we go. And welcome once again to the Ed Cooley Radio Show presented by East Commerce Solutions. Tonight we're broadcasting live from Caserta's Pizzeria on Federal Hill in downtown Providence. I am John Rooke, the voice of the Friars, along with the head coach of the Friars, Ed Cooley. So welcome to those of you listening on 103.7, on Friars.com, on the TuneIn app, and, oh, yeah, on Cox Yearview Channel 4 and 1004. We're glad you're along with us tonight. Coach, how are we doing tonight?
Thanks a lot for having me. Doing great.
So I guess we have this little thing of stubbing our toe over the weekend at UMASS, and I know that seems to have caused a little rift among some Friar fans and some concerned folks. So what can you do to allay fears that this season isn't going to go south in a hurry, because we know how fans like to overreact?
Well, it's a very it's a very fickle team right here. We got some injuries where we're going through these scoring lulls, but it's part of the game. It's part of development. It's part of moving forward. You can't dwell on the last game. You got to improve on it. We got to look forward to playing on Sunday, so we got a week to work on some things. We're playing a little short-handed, not having Malik and Alpha in our lineup. But it's an opportunity for the other kids to step up. I'm not going to call it stub your toe. It's really hard to win on the road. Mm-hmm. Our two losses, we have a tough loss against Minnesota, and, obviously going down to Rhode Island, they played well. Sometimes you get so caught up into what we're doing, I don't think we appreciate the team that we just played. They played well, we didn't, and we didn't win the basketball game. But, we turn the page, we move on. If we dwell on what we're not doing great and, you kind of stay in that spiral, we'll be better the next time out. We've been in this situation before. It's early enough in the season. Our goal is to still be a tournament team, and that's still in our hands.
After the game was over, and obviously sometimes emotions don't have a chance to really kind of work themselves through. But I know that a couple of members of the media were talking to you about it afterward, and you mentioned that you just weren't sure if your guys were ready, and I believe the word soft was brought up. Now,
sure.
Sometimes, we take into consideration all things because these are college kids. They're not paid professionals. But at the same time, maybe you can give us some insight as to why you thought the way you did after the game and how you feel that might be a room for improvement for your guys, especially after what they showed on the floor on Saturday.
I don't know if I spoke to the media about us not being ready, because we were ready to play. When I talk about our team being soft, that's just not a physical thing. That's a mental thing.
Right.
Being tough is being able to make free throws. Being tough is finishing a play, coming out of a timeout and executing a play. Soft could be mental preparation as well as physical preparation. I'm talking about the whole gamut. I think when you use the term soft, the average fan is thinking about physicality. I want our team to play with spirit. I want our team to play with enthusiasm and energy. And right now we're just not playing that way. And I don't know if it's our guys feeling pressure. And when you're not playing well, me as the leader, I got to do a better job. It's that simple. The buck stops here. And, I don't think you don't have to overreact to anything in sports. You know what I mean? Some days you play well, some days you don't. And when we don't play well, sorry. Next game, and it's not like it's our last game. If that was our last game, there's a lot to be disappointed about, because what do you have to look forward to? There's a lot to look forward to. It's game 10. We still have a whole Big East slate to play. There's 3 more non-conference games left to play. We'll figure it out. I mean, we've been here before. We've done this. Many of you fans that are loyal and passionate as can be, I love the energy that you guys bring. And you want to win. So do I. You know what I mean? I got to sleep with it at night. You come and cheer for it. It's my livelihood. It's not your livelihood. So it's my livelihood. So at the end of the day, I got to do a better job.
Is it fair to say that the current injury situation that you have, and let's also throw Emmett Holt and his absence in there, has this caused a little bit of the bump in the road that you guys are experiencing right now?
A little bit, but, that's why you use 13 scholarships. That's why you recruit players. Next guy up. I like our depth. It'll start to show a little bit. But when you have a couple of days to prepare to go on the road, we started a freshman the last 2 games, and, he has struggled a little bit. But that's an opportunity for him to grow and learn from as well. He'll be better because of what he's just gone through versus playing against a, non-competitive environment. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Just hang in there. It gets turbulent up there sometime, but the plane 99.9% of the time lands softly.
Well, let's also go with you mentioned Mekhi Ashton-Langford getting his first start. How about the big guys inside? Because I know that that's been a focus of our conversation for the first half of the season that we've had here on your show, and you're hoping for a little bit quicker development from those guys because you don't have Emmett Holt's steadying presence on the inside. You don't have his shooting ability, his rebounding, or you don't have anything. Hopefully you'll have it back next year, but at the same time, those guys are kind of riding a little bit of a roller coaster, and I know that they were – it's very rare that guys like Khalif and Nate face somebody bigger than they were, but they had that in the post at UMASS on Saturday, and it really didn't work out very well for them.
No, it didn't play well, and we've said this a lot this year, and we're well past it now because we're 10 games in. Emmett's loss is just not his playing. Emmett is an unbelievable leader, unbelievable matchup nightmare for other opposing teams' 5 men. He's experienced. And now we're trying to throw Khalif and Nate in there, both very young, not used to scoring in college yet. So they're learning how to be on the floor. And, again, they'll grow and they'll develop because that's a 2-headed monster that we'll use. So we need more consistency from them. We need more consistently defensively, rebounding the ball, free throw shooting, and finishing layups, and then knowing what you're doing on the floor. So for all of our educated fans that are watching, the synergy that we have right now is not intact, and that's what we're working on right now. Rhythm defensively, rhythm offensively. We have what we call a lot of oh shucks moments. So if you're supposed to cut right and you cut left for a half a second, you say oh shucks, now your rhythm and timing is off. So that's what we got to get. Once we get that, we'll be fine. We got to be more on the same page with being locked in and dialed in together. We're not connected as much as we need to be yet.
Fair to say that because you've had some of the injuries that you've had, especially with Alpha, that some of those oh shucks moments were easier to come by?
Sure. I mean, Alpha's one of our better defenders, one of our better, more physical athletes on the floor.
You could see him on Pipkins on Saturday, and and I don't think Luan Pipkins. I mean, he played a great game. Don't want to take anything away from the young man, but with a larger, more physical presence on guarding him, I think he would have been hard pressed to have the game that he had.
Well, the last couple of backcourts have played really well against us, so that's accountability on our behalf. We got to do a better job trying to take them out the game. Pimpkins played well against us last year here at the Dunk, if you remember, as did Holloway. Take nothing away from UMass. They played well. They beat us. You know what I'm saying? We have to improve in every facet of the game. Now, we've shown we can play well. We've shown we can play well. But when we lose, it's not the end of the world. We have to just improve. There's not many teams that's going to go undefeated in college basketball. It's really, really hard to do. It's what are we learning from and how are we growing is the positive message we got to continue to preach.
Well, I think all you need to do is look at one of your best games of the season was against Boston College, and they just beat Duke. Kansas just lost to Washington, which you beat. So you have wins over 2 teams that just beat the 2 top-ranked teams in the nation.
Sure. I mean, it's anytime you're dealing with 18 to 22-year-old minds, just understand that. Like sometimes I become a fan of the game. I'm like, wow, we just play. That's an unbelievable play. As the coach, I'm saying that. So you got to kind of draw yourself back in. But then you say when you're coaching, like, yeah, that's an 18-year-old, that's a 20-year-old. So you kind of go back and forth with it. Sometimes you want to be a fan, when you're coaching the game. And sometimes you want to be a dad and like, what are you doing? Yeah. So, there's some frustrating moments, but that's what makes –
Fair to say you've had a couple of dad moments lately?
I've had dad, grandpa, great-grandpa, brother. I mean, I had all kind of issues going. But the thing is, the joy about my job is to try to work it out. And when you see these young kids come around and improve, that's the joy of it. Yeah. The joy of it is not just staying at the mountaintop. Totally. To me, everybody wants to be there. Who doesn't want to be there right now? Imagine if we were sitting in here and we were 0-10. I mean, what's the mood? So while we're building, while we're growing, the expectation is we've been there, we've done that. You're still dealing with 18 to 22-year-olds, no matter what. You know, Bill Self has one of the best brands in college basketball. They've lost back-to-back home games, basically. How do you think Bill's feeling right now? He's got everything he needs under the sun, right?
About this big.
You know what I mean?
So,
you know, when you lose, it's on you, the coach. Bottom line, do a better job.
That's all you can
Bottom
do.
line.
That's all you can do.
I love the criticism when it comes my way. You know why?
Because you're ready for it.
Every time you sign up, you know exactly what – you know, Bill Belichick, arguably the greatest coach in the world in any sport ever. You don't think he's in that film room right now?
Oh, yeah.
It happens.
Probably has 53 guys in there with him, too.
I'm pretty sure he does. You know, it happens. It's sports. It's sports, man. You lose, you win.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
It's not always going to be merry. That's for sure in life.
Let's don't go there. Coming up on the program, we're going to take a look at basically the 3 non-conference games that are left on the schedule for this year. Some of the team's strengths through the first 10 games of this season. We will take a look coming up later in the program at the 3 incoming recruits for next year. You've seen them play recently, so we'll bring you up to date on their status. We'll also take a look around the Big East just a bit, because the next time we come to you with a coaches show, we'll be well into Big East play. So we're going to start to take a look at some of the foes that the Friars will be facing on the dunk floor and, of course, away in the Big East Conference coming up later this year. In fact, 2 of them are now in the top 10 in the nation this week. One of them, Villanova, number 1. Not bad, right?
Not bad at all.
That's a byproduct of the Big East. So we'll continue with more of the Ed Cooley Radio Show presented by East Commerce Solutions. Tonight, we're here at Caserta's Pizzeria on Federal Hill in Providence, right here on 103.7 WEEI FM.
I buy all my Ford F-150s.
Only from Flood Ford in East Greenwich.
And Flood Ford Lincoln in Narragansett. They have the best selection.
And service.
Rock bottom pricing.
And the most helpful staff.
In all new Ford F-150s starting at just $149 per month. Shop Flood Ford today.
Flood Ford and Flood Ford Lincoln, Rhode Island's #1 Ford F-150 dealer.
Give the gift of Friartown to the favorite sports fan in your life this holiday season. Explore our single game or mini plan options that fit any budget. Purchase tickets to any game, upgrade to receive a special stocking stuffer from the Friars. Make memories that will last a lifetime with the best of Big East basketball and Hockey East action.
High Mirages, shot score! Ben Mirages!
For tickets, 401-865-GO-PC or visit friars.com, because this is Friartown.
Eston and Richard Insurance has been serving clients in Rhode Island and Massachusetts for many years. We represent the finest insurance companies in the industry, providing insurance coverage for every possible business, including the automotive industry, apartments, nonprofits, restaurants, manufacturing contractors, and all retail and office operations. Eston and Richard is an independent insurance agency. We will choose the right company and design a program to fit your needs and budget. Call Eston and Richard at 401-766-4200. We will solve your insurance problems.
I'm John Rooke, the voice of your Providence College Friars men's basketball team. It's that time of year again. And there's nothing like a sold-out crowd at the Dunkin' Donuts Center. One thing I've learned calling Friar basketball over the years is that anything can happen on game day. Legends have played on this court, creating memories that have lasted a lifetime. It's time to make more. This is Friartown.
It's one thing to talk about results. It's another to deliver them for personal injury victims. Recently, the law offices of Ronald J. Resmini delivered their client the largest jury verdict ever in Bristol County, Massachusetts District Court. If you've been injured at work or in an accident, call the firm that not only wrote the book on personal injury law, but continues to deliver results for the people of Rhode Island and Massachusetts.
I'm Ronald J. Resmini. When it's time to stand up for clients' rights, that's where you will find us.
With Cox high-speed internet, you get access to super-fast in-home Wi-Fi to power all your devices and do the things you love online. And now, when you're traveling, you have free access to the nation's largest Wi-Fi network with over 500,000 hotspots, so you can stay connected in places such as New York City, Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., Phoenix, and many more. Learn how with the Cox Discover More video series at cox.com/learn.
And welcome back once again. It's the Ed Cooley Radio Show presented by East Commerce Solutions. Tonight from Caserta's Pizzeria here in Providence. John Rooke with the head coach of the Friars, Ed Cooley. We're glad you're all with us tonight. If you'd like to have a question for the coach or you have a question you'd like to ask the coach, hit us up on Twitter with the hashtag AskCoachCooley. And we'll answer some of those by the end of the program. Let's take a couple of moments, Coach, if we can, just to basically look at the three non-conference games that you have left.
Sure.
You have Stony Brook coming up this Saturday, and we'll talk more specifically about it because that'll be your winning combination later in the program here. But then you've got a tough sort of neutral site, almost pseudo-road game. You got one more trip to Mohegan Sun. You play a very good University of Houston team, and then you wrap up back at home before you go back on the road for two straight as well in the Big East. So do you have a viewpoint over these last three games, especially coming off the semester exam break like you have this week? Those are usually probably, based on the 30 years I've been doing it here, those aren't the easiest things to handle.
They're not easy, and especially for some of our freshmen, they talked about how overwhelmed they feel a little academically. So, just trying to get them locked into the rhythm and pace of academics with preparation, with practice. We gave them a couple of days off from Saturday. We gave them Sunday, Monday off. We had a morning practice today. We'll have a morning practice tomorrow. We'll probably take Thursday off to give them another day for their studies and then concentrate the rest of the week. This is the time of the year a lot of teams normally improve because it's just basketball. There's, once class ends, we have like 3 or 4 weeks where it's just basketball preparation and improvement. So this is where you see a big jump with a lot of teams, but the toughest part of the schedule comes in after your exams because you normally get into league play.
So Stony Brook Saturday, Houston next Wednesday, you wind it up with Sacred Heart, and then you take almost another week off before you jump into conference play. Is that a big change? You wish there was another game in there somewhere? You guys made up the schedule, so what was the thought process behind this, the way these three games are set up coming after the semester break?
Well, with our scheduling, you always want to try to schedule, some games before you send the kids home for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And last year, I think we played a road game the 23rd, and we didn't feel they have enough time at home, and then bring them back Christmas night or the next day. I always try to give the guys Christmas Day off if we can, if the schedule allows it. This year we will. We'll probably play practice doubles on the 26th, 27th practice, and then head out to New York because we play St. John's on the 28th.
Right.
So, you have to get your games in. You have to deal with your exam schedules, and then you have to get some rest and preparation time in between. So that's where all the, kind of scheduling comes into mind.
So 3 more games to kind of work out the kinks.
Yep.
Maybe hopefully get some guys healthy.
Sure.
And potentially try to find some of that inner strength before you have to start, the Big East wars. And I know that, that's something that you probably constantly implore upon your kids. But, you also have guys who have been through the battles as well. So that's got to be something I think that you probably would look to Rodney and Jalen and Kyron to sort of pass on to the other guys, right?
Sure, but these other guys have to pick it up. Alpha's been in those Big East games. He was a starter at the end of last year. Isaiah Jackson's been in those games. Drew is trying to get back into the rhythm and trying to get back into those games. So we have some guys that have been there, but it's a different year. The Big East is arguably the best basketball conference in the country. When you look at our conference record overall as a conference, they're playing at an elite level. Our league is a monster right now, and I'm happy about that. We want to be part of the best in the country, and thank God we're surrounded with some good teams that we're going to be able to play.
Yeah, we'll jump into a couple of those things about the rest of the conference in a minute. What would you say right now would be your team's best strength, and what's your biggest need?
Well, our biggest need is consistency. We need consistency. We need that chip, that dog mentality, that everyday approach is a day to improve. The urgency. What our players have to understand is people are coming to play Providence College. They're coming. They know we have an opportunity to be a good basketball team. So in a lot of cases, we're getting everybody's best shot right now. And our players have to be prepared for that physically and emotionally. And that's trying to get our younger kids to understand that, because when they're on the floor, we have some lapses. But at the same time, our older kids have to understand that as well.
Best strength?
I don't know right now. I don't know. I would like to say our leadership, but right now we're just not where we need to be. So our strength right now is a question mark.
You've had some conversations, that I take it, with the older players on
Sure.
your team about that?
And it's an everyday conversation, It's a long season. You know, and again, these kids get sidetracked so many times, not just academically, socially, family. Some of them away from home. Some of them are, you know, the young kids are adjusting just to the grind of practice, class. You know, it's a grind. And the more focused and detailed you are, the more success you should have on the floor. And right now we're not finding that because we're distracted somewhere.
Let's turn it this way then. What do you feel like this team needs to work on over these last 3 non-conference games to be ready for St. John's and the Big East schedule?
Playing with a pace, playing with an identity, playing with a purpose. And then not the purpose that we're not out there with one, just who are we? We need to find out who we are. Normally you should know who you are by now. Some of the injuries has deterred that. You know, trying to find a combination that works because we've had a lot of different patterns and substitution patterns. So those are the things we have to work out to find out what we need to go into the – number one, you better be tough, period. You better be tough and you better be solid because if not, there's going to be some long nights in the Big East.
You mentioned the injuries again, and we touched on them at the top of the program today. Is there anything you can tell us about how these guys are coming along and whether or not they might actually be able to suit up this next Sunday?
I don't see that happening. Either of them playing Sunday. You know, they were in the training room today. You know, Alpha was off the crutches today. A little bit more weight bearing on his ankle. Malik, he still has his knee in a little brace. You know, had some swelling on both of them. Kyron's ankle's still pretty tender. So I don't foresee those two guys Sunday. I can't see that happening. But they are better than they were last week. That's for sure. They are better than they were Saturday. So they were moving around a little bit better.
So that means then you'll have basically the same lineup available for Sunday that you had last week for UMass. And obviously these guys now will be able to fill in those roles, and they'll know, I guess, what you're going to expect of them.
Sure. I mean, we'll have the same lineup. We just need a different focus, different attention to detail team. Because right now, that's what we're lacking. We're not attentive to detail enough right now in order to be successful.
Well, we've got a lot more to talk about here on the program, including some of the Big East teams that will be coming into the dunk. We mentioned just a couple of moments ago, Villanova's the new number 1 in the nation. Xavier's a top 10 team as well. Both Seton Hall and Creighton have cracked the national top 25 polls this week, so we'll jump into some of that. Steve Napolillo is going to join us as well to talk about some ticket sales at the dunk, some of the things that are coming up inside for the fans, some fundraising, an update on the Ruane Center as well. All of that's coming up, so we'll keep it right here. We're at Federal Hill at Caserta's Pizzeria inside tonight on the Ed Cooley Radio Show presented by East Commerce Solutions. We're glad you're with us on 103.7 WEEI FM.
Honey? Honey, could you let me in, please? I'm sorry, okay? It was a bad idea, okay? I admit that. Hey! Morning! Yeah.
Just a reminder from Baxter's. Diamond or semi-precious stone earrings, bracelets, and necklaces. Always a safe choice.
Come on!
Give the gift of Friartown to the favorite sports fan in your life this holiday season. Explore our single game or mini plan options that fit any budget. Purchase tickets to any game, upgrade to receive a special stocking stuffer from the Friars. Make memories that will last a lifetime with the best of Big East basketball and Hockey East action.
High Mirages, shot score! Ben Mirages!
For tickets, 401-865-GO-PC or visit Friars.com because this is Friartown.
The remaining 2017s are going fast, so now is your final chance to get massive model year-end savings at Belize. Like a new 2017 Nissan Rogue Sport all-wheel drive. Lease for just $119 per month. Lease a new 2018 Toyota RAV4 all-wheel drive. Only $169 per month. Or save up to $12,000 off MSRP on a new Chevy Silverado. Plus, we'll give you $1,000 over Kelley Blue Book value for your trade. Shop BelizeAuto.com today. Then visit us on Post Road Warwick before the 2017s are all gone.
I'm John Rooke, the voice of your Providence College Friars men's basketball team. It's that time of year again. And there's nothing like a sold-out crowd at the Dunkin' Donuts Center. One thing I've learned calling Friar basketball over the years is that anything can happen on game day. Legends have played on this court, creating memories that have lasted a lifetime. It's time to make more. This is Friartown.
With Cox high-speed internet, you get access to super fast in-home Wi-Fi to power all your devices and do the things you love online. And now, when you're traveling, you have free access to the nation's largest Wi-Fi network with over 500,000 hotspots, so you can stay connected in places such as New York City, Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., Phoenix, and many more. Learn how with the Cox Discover More video series at cox.com/learn.
YourView presents Vegas Strong, a night of healing, a 30-minute special providing a look inside the October 19th fundraising concert honoring those directly impacted by the Route 91 tragedy. Featuring performances from country artists, including Big and Rich and Las Vegas' own Sierra Black, as well as backstage interviews with performers, survivors, and public officials. Vegas Strong, a night of healing, now on YourView. Visit yourview.com for airtimes.
In the blink of an eye, cities fall, heroes rise. A heartbeat skips as a man slips gravity's grip, and heartbreak leaps from the brink in a blink. Just think of all the games, teams, hopes, and dreams that live and die because greatness lies in the blink of an eye. This is the sports app on Contour from Cox. Cable TV reimagined to get you right to the good stuff.
There could be a girl in the NFL, which that would be pretty amazing, but I mean, those guys are huge. Huge. So I mean, that girl has to be also huge. I'm pretty sure. Let's hope. I don't think anytime soon, but I'm pretty sure one of these days that a girl's gonna get in there.
Been in an auto accident? Call Ken Rocha Collision, the official auto collision repair shop of the Providence College Friars, offering a 100% lifetime guarantee on all collision repairs as long as you own the car, guaranteed rental, and free pickup service. Call Rhode Island license number 1 Ken Rocha Collision at 401-467-4800 today.
Like a pro.
Not
Like a
bad.
pro. Ken should pay double for that.
I like that.
It's nerve-wracking reading, to be honest with you.
I think you should pay double for that. Welcome
like
back.
that.
It's the Ed Cooley Radio Show again, presented by East Commerce Solutions. John Rooke, the head coach of the Friars. Ed Cooley, as we are at Caserta's Pizzeria here in Providence. Also joined now by Friars Senior Executive Associate Athletic Director, Stephen Appolillo. Who came up with that title, by the way? Because I had a hard time spitting that one out.
That's how they reward you at Providence College. They add names to your title.
Names to your title and no money to your paycheck.
My
yeah.
man.
I get it. I got it. Well, I know that you can bring us up to date on the Ruane Development Center because I know that the girders have gone in, the steel's in, the concrete floors are in. I think the second floor is going in probably as we speak right about now. So things are looking up, right?
You know, John, it's funny as I heard you start the show about, you know, the team struggling and where we're at. And what I always go back to is every day we walk in at Providence College and I see a facility. You know, I've been at PC 10 years now, and we had some real struggles over the 10 years. And you look at where we are, what coaches built, and the people who have helped us build this, and this building that's going to open in September is going to be one of the first-class premier facilities in the country.
Sure.
Every recruit Eddie brings in, they're not going to come to Providence College because of the facilities. I'm so excited for him, what he's built here. I'm so excited for our fans, for our generous supporters. Providence College is going to be a place that no one is not going to want to come. I can promise you when that building opens in September.
You in charge of the interior design too, Nat?
That's Artie Parks. Artie Parks takes care of all chair selection. And
I don't know if I would trust him with interior design. I don't know about that.
I can believe that. Well, now, you've got this thing going on, but there are other things that I think fans are probably aware of, at least to a little bit of extent. That's the pie in the sky. That's what's out there. It's something that the program has needed for a long time. In fact, I just saw this week where Creighton is finally building a basketball-only facility as well, and they've got their plans on the drawing board as well. So there are other schools that are coming along. They're trying to join the party because they know they need it to keep up now. But there are other things that you're doing, that you're in charge of, that this team needs tomorrow and next week and probably in February too, correct?
Yeah, and I think, I'm Providence College is blessed to have so many great people. You know, you have Kevin Connolly in the stands who works with me. He was on the road this week, and a gentleman who named the court in the Wayne Development Center gave over $500,000 to do that.
Wow.
Kevin flew out to see him in Marquette, told him what Coach Cooley's trying to do with charter trips, and wrote another $75,000 check just yesterday for coaches. We have to give Coach everything from the academic support, from flying on charters, to be able that there isn't anything that's holding him back to be a successful program. And we're wholeheartedly committed to do that. I think you've seen under Bob Driscoll and Father Shanley, they've done that, and we're not getting complacent. Every day is like, hey, you have to go get it. And, you know, there's never enough money, John, no matter what you raise.
Spoken like a true fundraiser.
But I think we're putting ourselves in a great position to be successful. And I can tell you there's no better coach. I talked to all my counterparts who understands what we have to do in fundraising and who's more helpful than Coach Cooley. So we're blessed to have him not only as a basketball coach, but from an ambassador and the standpoint of what I do. My counterparts tell me every day they wish they had Coach Cooley on their staff.
You also know, though, Coach, that fundraising, meeting people, spreading the good word, that all comes with a job. It's not just X's and O's.
Well, you know, I think I want to be part of what we're doing as a college. You know, it's important. And not only that, I love people. I love meeting them. I like knowing their names, engaging with them. I want you as the fan, as a donor, as a supporter, as an alum to feel part of what we're doing as a basketball program. There are no secrets, and we need your help. You know, so it behooves you not to go out and be part of something that's helping you help your program move forward. I love our fans. I just love seeing people when they smile. Even when we don't win, trust me, I feel bad. But at the same time, I still have an opportunity to connect. Our staff has an opportunity to connect. And that's what it's about. You're not going to win everything you do, but you need the resources to put yourself in the possibility of a conversation to be a champion. And that's all you can ask.
Steve, we know we've got 2 home games left, and, of course, we've got the neutral site game at Mohegan Sun, and we'd love to see Friar fans bang the building out at Mohegan, which will be a week from tomorrow night. And why not? You know, there's a good turnout for the UConn exhibition game that was played there over a month ago, and it should be a home away from home, and I know you would kind of expect it to be there. And, by the way, you're undefeated at Mohegan Sun. I don't want to put the pressure on you or anything.
All I care about is Stony Brook. I don't know who would play the next week.
Okay, fair enough. I figured you'd probably say that anyway.
I just want to let you know that.
No, I totally understand that. But we also have a Big East schedule to get ready for at home. And so I'm going to assume then that tickets are obviously still available, but there's an opportunity, I think, to probably bang the building out for several of the big-name teams that are coming into the dunk, especially when you have teams that are all ranked in the top 25 in the nation.
Yeah, right now we're on target to have 6 sellouts, John, during the Big East play, and we're hoping we can get that to 8. The fans have been phenomenal. Right now we're up 15% ticket sales at the same time to last year, and people are really fired up. I think, it's a great time to go to the dunk, watch the games. They've probably been a little more entertaining than Coach would like to see, but I think when you look at what to do in Providence, and I think Eddie hit a great point. Providence is blessed. You have the people right here. They go to everything. Every person makes a difference in a program, and every single season ticket holder, donor has really helped change what we do. So great. If anyone's looking for a last-minute Christmas gift, nothing better than Friar tickets. I can promise you that. They fit in a stocking beautifully.
I like that. So when we have St. John's on the road and Creighton on the road to start, first home game in Big East play doesn't come until after the first of the year. Coach, you and I have talked about this before. We won't get a chance to talk about it again until after the fact, but the fact that you have to start on the road kind of puts you behind the 8 ball right off the bat, doesn't it?
Very, very tough because you're going to get those games coming back, but you always want to try to start with a conference game as close to home as you can, or right on your home court.
New York, right?
Yeah. And again, playing, I believe it's Caserta. Is that the name of it there? So not being able to play in Madison Square Garden, which you want to, and our league was formed on playing in big arenas.
Right.
So we're going to be challenged right out the gate, and then you go to a much, much improved Creighton team. On the road in that environment, there'll be 18,000 people in there walking in there. So we'll be battle-tested by the time we get home, and I don't know who our first home game is against.
It's Marquette, January 3rd, and that's, John, really, we need all the fans to come out because, the students are on break. They don't come back till Martin Luther King Day. So I always say when you lose 1,500 students who really can get the energy in the building going, We have some unbelievable deals to get people in those student seats for those games. We need everybody to come and pack the dunk for us because that's the toughest part, actually, of the schedule is when the students are away. Those are all seats that aren't, are available.
I think I have that number, 865-GO-PC, right?
I love it, John. Keep saying it, my man,
like
as many
that.
times as possible.
Coach, very quickly, before we move on to some other topics here, I mentioned a couple of moments ago, Villanova is the new #1 team in the nation. Xavier's cracked the top 10. You have Seton Hall and Creighton also in the top 25. You guys have been knocking on the top 25 door all year as well, so no time like the present in the Big East. But do you have any early impressions over anybody you might have seen or talked to yet this year?
I've watched every single one of what the Big East teams play multiple times, anytime they're on, and then when we're in an office, we're always trying to catch up on style of play, just to put it in your head early. Our league is as good as any year we've been here, top to bottom. I watched DePaul play last night. I watched Seton Hall. Seton Hall plays a game tonight. I think they play St. Peter's tonight.
St. Pete's, yep.
I've watched them 3 games. I've watched Villanova probably 5 games. I've watched Georgetown play 4 games. Creighton play 3 or 4 games. Those teams are very good. They're very, very good. So in order for us to be in the mention to be one of the better teams in our league, we got a long way to go. We got a lot of improvement to go. But it goes to tell you the depth of our league, more so than any year of the reconfiguration of this league, top to bottom, good luck. It is a rough go out there.
Going to be fun, though.
It's an opportunity.
Better buckle up.
It's an opportunity, right?
The one thing I can tell you about how the Big East is faring against other non-conference teams, there's only been one other time. It was the 1988-89 season where the Big East has actually had a better winning percentage against non-league teams than it does this year.
Wow.
The league this year has won over 81% of its non-league games. The record was 88-89 when they won 83%. So pretty good league this year, I think, overall.
Very, very competitive. And, what's making our league continue to improve is we haven't lost multiple coaches. This is the first time in a couple of years where we've lost a couple of coaches in the same year. So, the consistency of the coaching has really helped the league. The consistency of not losing assistant coaches, which never spoken of. If you have a consistent coaching staff, which I'm proud to say we have one of the best staffs in the country. If you have a consistent coaching staff and it's not a lot of turnover, your program should be pretty consistent.
Our thanks to Senior Associate Executive AD, or is it Senior Executive Associate AD, Stephen Ampolillo.
Thanks, John. Merry Christmas to everyone. We appreciate all you guys do. Go Friars. Thanks, Coach. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Coming up, we're going to give you a little bit of a treat and an update on what some of the Friars to be are doing with their current careers. That's as we continue with the Ed Cooley Radio Show presented by East Commerce Solutions tonight from Caserta's on Federal Hill on 103.7 WEEI FM.
I buy all my Ford F-150s.
Only from Flood Ford in East Greenwich.
And Flood Ford Lincoln in Narragansett. They have the best selection.
And service.
Rock bottom pricing.
And the most helpful staff.
In all new Ford F-150s starting at just $149 per month. Shop Flood Ford today.
Flood Ford and Flood Ford Lincoln, Rhode Island's #1 Ford F-150 dealer.
Give the gift of Friartown to the favorite sports fan in your life this holiday season. Explore our single game or mini plan options that fit any budget. Purchase tickets to any game, upgrade to receive a special stocking stuffer from the Friars. Make memories that will last a lifetime with the best of Big East basketball and Hockey East action.
High Mirages, shot score! Ben Mirages!
For tickets, 401-865-GO-PC or visit Friars.com because this is Friartown.
Eston and Richard Insurance has been serving clients in Rhode Island and Massachusetts for many years. We represent the finest insurance companies in the industry, providing insurance coverage for every possible business, including the automotive industry, apartments, nonprofits, restaurants, manufacturing contractors, and all retail and office operations. Eston and Richard is an independent insurance agency. We will choose the right company and design a program to fit your needs and budget. Call Eston and Richard at 401-766-4200. We will solve your insurance problems.
I'm John Rooke, the voice of your Providence College Friars men's basketball team. It's that time of year again. And there's nothing like a sold-out crowd at the Dunkin' Donuts Center. One thing I've learned calling Friar basketball over the years is that anything can happen on game day. Legends have played on this court, creating memories that have lasted a lifetime. It's time to make more. This is Friartown.
It's one thing to talk about results. It's another to deliver them for personal injury victims. Recently, the law offices of Ronald J. Resmini delivered their client the largest jury verdict ever in Bristol County, Massachusetts District Court. If you've been injured at work or in an accident, call the firm that not only wrote the book on personal injury law, but continues to deliver results for the people of Rhode Island and Massachusetts.
I'm Ronald J. Resmini. When it's time to stand up for clients' rights, that's where you will find us.
Hi, I'm Joey Travolta, producer of Inclusion Short Films. Each episode, you're going to see a film produced and created by adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. All 5 of our studios are busy creating holiday films for your family. So, from our family to yours, happy holidays. Now playing on your view.
Buy holiday movies instantly with Contour from Cox.
Kevin! Ah! You guys give up or you're thirsty for more? Ah! Yes! Hiya, pal. Ah! Yes! May I do the thinking, please?
Purchase holiday movies with your remote. Download them to go and watch anywhere, anytime on your mobile devices. Go to Channel 1 to start your holiday movie shopping now.
2 minutes left to go in the game. We're getting beat up. They're getting beat up. We're playing football, basically. We snap the ball. Our quarterback rolls out. I'm coming from the tailback position. I leak out. He somehow finds me. I'm in the middle of the end zone, wide open. He throws it up there, put the pig in the midst. I've been to weddings. I've had best mans at my weddings. It is a point of conversation. And the great thing about it is, because of Cox, I got the tape.
Welcome back to the Ed Cooley Radio Show, presented by East Commerce Solutions. Again tonight from Caserta's up on Federal Hill in Providence. John Rooke with the head coach of the Friars, Ed Cooley, on 103.7 WEEI FM, also on Cox Yearview Channels 4 and 1004 tonight. And hello to our viewers at home. We're glad you're with us tonight.
Go
Coach looks sharp in his jacket, doesn't he?
My Friar jacket?
Yeah, it's pretty sharp right there. I like that.
Right.
Let's take just a couple of moments, if we can, to give some of the recruitniks in the audience a little bit of an update as to your newcomers coming in. You've got a top 10, top 15 ranked recruiting class nationally coming into Providence next year, highlighted, of course, by Providence native David Duke. You've got A.J. Reeves, Jimmy Nichols, Chris Monroe. Can you give us a bit of an update on how these guys are doing and when the last time you saw these guys play was?
Well, last weekend we went out and saw both AJ and David play. We went down and saw Jimmy and Chris just before the season started, and went to their high schools, went and watched them work out. Our staff will be on the road watching them play. We'll probably see them play this weekend again. I think both AJ and David play here in Rhode Island. I think Friday, Saturday, I believe. When I went and watched them, AJ, who had he had like 6 teeth taken out, so he lost a little bit of weight. He had 4 wisdom and 2 baby teeth out, so he didn't eat for like a week, so he lost like 8 or 10 pounds.
Yeah, but you know what? He can shoot the ball.
Shoot.
Oh, my gosh.
Can shoot
this
the ball.
kid can shoot the ball. I mean, he's throwing it up, and it's just going in everywhere. It's amazing. Really.
So we're excited to have him watch David play. I thought he was really dominant defensively in the game of which he played. They lost a close game. Jimmy's coming off of a 28-11 game. And I think Chris Monroe is coming off a 37-16 game. So all those guys can score. They're multi-positional. They're physical. They're athletic. And they embody what we want a Providence College player to be. And they're all doing really, really well academically, so we're happy to hear that.
Obviously, it's great to hear that news because you want everybody eligible and ready to go. They also know, and they have to know, because that has to be part of the reason why they decided to choose Providence to come to school, that there will be a definitive need for them next year, correct?
Well, we wanted to target, scoring. Obviously, we losing Kyron, losing Rodney, losing Jalen. We lose not only experience, but we lose guys that have been accustomed to putting the ball in the basket for us for 4 years. So when we went out and needed this class, which we thought was going to be a very important class, we wanted some versatility. We wanted some scoring, some outside shooting, and we wanted some hybrid players that can play multiple positions.
You got two kids right there in Duke and Reeves who are national top 75 guys as well. Obviously, Chris Monroe and Jimmy Nichols are beginning to kind of climb in the rankings as well after they've already committed to Providence College. So I know we're only a third of the way through this year already, and we've still got 2/3 of the year left to go for this season. But, you know, when you think about the future of those four guys and possibly with a little experience coming back next year with Emmett's health, if he decides that he's going to come back and can continue to play, which, you know, you hope that he will, it sounds like a pretty promising team.
We're always excited, you know, and again, I can't thank our staff enough. You know, Ivan Thomas, Brian Blaney, Jeff Battle, you know, those guys are, you know, they're on the road yesterday, they're on the road today. They grind. They do a great job while Kevin and Nick are in-house taking care of everything with our student athletes in-house. Our staff really does not, you know, get the credit they deserve, you know, and I can't thank them enough. They've done a great job identifying young men that can play for us, that can excel at Providence, and those guys, you know, I couldn't do what I do if we didn't have them.
Well, that's for 2018, obviously, but your guys are on the road recruiting 19 and beyond already.
Right now we're targeting 2020, and to be honest with you, you know, our guys in the gym watching these kids play. It's the sophomore class that'll be rising juniors next year. You want to target guys early, got to get in. You know, recruiting is about relationships, you know, and you can't be absent. So you got to be out there. You never know what could happen with, you know, kids getting hurt, of which we're going through right now. You don't know when a scholarship is going to come up. When you have a disgruntled person on your roster, it happens when you look at 794 kids transferred last year. So those numbers are staggering, and, you know, 2 kids per college are leaving every single year. So
Can I say this, though? I don't know if you know this or not, because this obviously is a different sport, but do you know the name Willie Taggart?
He is the current. He was
the head football coach at Oregon. He used to be at USF.
Yeah.
He's now the new head football coach at Florida State.
Sure.
I'm not going to deny the man any opportunity, but he's been head coach at 3 different Division I programs in less than 365 days. So when a coach is able to do that, I have a hard time telling a kid he can't.
I don't have the answer to that. There has to be something done about the high transfer rate. You know?
Agreed.
I don't have the answer to that. You don't want to hold any kids hostage if they don't want to be there. You don't want to hold any college hostage if the coach don't want to be there. I don't know where the equal ground is at all. I don't have that. But I think everybody has a right to do whatever the hell they want to do. You know, that's really the answer.
But there also has to be some restraints put in place. Otherwise, you can't build a program. And your job becomes that much harder. You have to be able to rely on something or somebody, don't you?
Well, you know, I think, you know, the NCAA is in a big overhaul right now. You know, there's still a black guy on the NCAA with this whole FBI probe. And I think we're, you know, with the commission, that they're trying to identify a lot of the weaknesses in our sport. And it needs to be addressed. 100% sure it definitely needs to be addressed. But, you know, it's still a great sport. There's still great coaches out there doing it the right way, providing opportunity for these kids. The problem with some of our players today, it is the microwave generation.
Right.
They want instant success. They're not used to sitting. They're not used to learning. They're not used to waiting their opportunity. And that's created, like, just think of the AAU basketball situation. If they're not playing for Team 1, well, I'm going to go to Team 2. You are who you are, talent-wise, character-wise. No matter where you go, that's going to follow. You know, and if you're just an okay player, be happy that you're there. What a lot of student athletes don't understand in sport, we as the coaches, we're not there to please you. You are there to please us. And oh, by the way, every kid that's at Providence College is north of probably $80,000 to $85,000 per student athlete that's there under our watch. So that really is your job. You should come and thank the coaches, the president, the AD, and the professors for having you at the school. Because if you don't like it, there's a thing called an exit sign. Pack up your stuff, go home, and go play for somebody else, because we don't need one person. We don't need you. We need somebody who's loyal, trustworthy, tough, and happy to be there. And if you don't want that message, Providence College isn't the school for you. Don't let it hit you where it don't shine. That's just real talk.
See, I like that. I like that. That's good stuff. All right, we'll continue with more Coach's Question of the Week and a question from the fans coming up as we wrap up the Ed Cooley Radio Show presented by East Commerce Solutions tonight from Caserta's on Federal Hill on 103.7 WEEI FM.
Honey? Honey, could you let me in, please? I'm sorry, okay? It was a bad idea, okay? I admit that. Hey! Hi, morning. Yeah.
Just a reminder from Baxter's. Diamond or semi-precious stone earrings, bracelets, and necklaces. Always a safe choice.
Come on!
Give the gift of Friartown to the favorite sports fan in your life this holiday season. Explore our single game or mini plan options that fit any budget. Purchase tickets to any game, upgrade to receive a special stocking stuffer from the Friars. Make memories that will last a lifetime with the best of Big East basketball and Hockey East action.
Mirages, shot score! Ben Mirages!
For tickets, 401-865-GO-PC or visit Friars.com because this is Friartown.
The remaining 2017s are going fast, so now is your final chance to get massive model year-end savings at Belize. Like a new 2017 Honda Civic, lease for $89 a month. Lease a new 2017 Honda Pilot all-wheel drive, $279 per month. Or be the first to lease a new 2018 Subaru Forester, just $239 per month. Zero down. Plus, we'll give you $1,000 over Kelley Blue Book value for your trade. Shop BelizeAuto.com. Then visit us on Quaker Lane, West Warwick, before the 2017s are all gone.
I'm John Rooke, the voice of your Providence College Friars men's basketball team. It's that time of year again. And there's nothing like a sold-out crowd at the Dunkin' Donuts Center. One thing I've learned calling Friar basketball over the years is that anything can happen on game day. Legends have played on this court, creating memories that have lasted a lifetime. It's time to make more. This is Friartown.
YourView presents Vegas Strong, a night of healing, a 30-minute special providing a look inside the October 19th fundraising concert honoring those directly impacted by the Route 91 tragedy. Featuring performances from country artists, including Big and Rich and Las Vegas' own Sierra Black, as well as backstage interviews with performers, survivors, and public officials. Vegas Strong, a night of healing, now on YourView. Visit YourView.com for airtimes.
Jeanette, you know how during our date, we couldn't remember the name of that show we both liked. We're Cox customers. We can find it on Contour. Last 9 viewed. My grandkids are here. Home improvement shows. More like this. We liked House Hunters. That's the name of it.
Grandpa, you have a girlfriend?
We're not using labels.
That's a yes.
Watch more, search less, because you're a Cox customer. Cox.com/learn.
Buy holiday movies instantly with Contour from Cox.
Santa?
Niceness confirmed.
Go! Go!
Mistletoe.
Operation Smooch Fest is underway.
Buy new holiday classics with your remote. Download them to go and watch anytime on your mobile devices. Go to Channel 1 to start your holiday movie shopping now.
Join Jane Manzuras on Creative Living as she shares fun and inspiring ideas for enriching your life.
I'm Jane Manzuras, and on the next Creative Living, we're helping you get inspired for Thanksgiving. Learn how to make festive decor for your Thanksgiving table, and we'll introduce you to a new dating website that makes it easier and safer to find your perfect match.
Watch Creative Living only on YourView. Check your local listings for airtimes or visit YourView.com.
We wrap up the Ed Cooley Radio Show, again presented by East Commerce Solutions tonight from Caserta's here in Providence. How about a hand for our boys at Caserta's, huh? It's always great coming here. I've always say this, and I'm going to continue to say it every time I step in here. Anytime anybody asks, what's one of your favorite things to eat in Rhode Island? It's the Wimpy Skippy at this place right here.
I've been eating it for years. I've been eating it for years.
Every time.
Yeah.
It is hard to beat that spinach pie. It's unbelievably good.
I'm going to grab one and go home with it.
I think that sounds like a plan.
Are you buying?
Sure. You want me to buy?
Absolutely. Please. Please.
Well, you said please. All right. That's
All right,
fine.
please. Merry Christmas.
I can do that. Well, that's even better. I'll take that, too. Time for Coach Cooley's question of the week presented by Caserta's Pizzeria. And it comes from Bronco Friar, who says, Coach, what are we doing to get better from the free throw line?
Yeah. Again, you got the stats there. We just spoke about it.
41 for 71 from the last 3 games from the line.
Well, Shaq has been giving us free throw tips. Shaq has been in practice giving us some. We're working on it every day. Literally, I think it's a mental concentration. I think it's a routine you have to have when you go there. We always talk about, make the free throw before you take the free throw. Slow down. You have 10 seconds. We work on it in practice every day. We worked on it this morning. We'll work on it tomorrow morning. It's something that you just got to work on and keep in their head, and hopefully it improves.
Coach Cooley's winning combination also brought to you by Caserta's Pizzeria. You have Stony Brook as your next foe up on Sunday afternoon, and a good thing that it'll be done in time before the Patriots play the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Is that right? I don't know what time the Pats play.
Pats and the Steelers go at 4:25. You go at 2:30.
Well, we're excited. We're excited to play them. I'm actually following the score here. They're down 1 to Hofstra right now.
Okay.
Hybrid team. They play through their 4 and 5. Their 4 and 5 men both shoot a lot of threes, so that'll pose some problems for us. They have a guard who can score it at 3 levels. He can pass it, shoot it, shoots it from deep. Again, these next couple of games are all about how we're improving. So, we respect our opponent, but we have to get better at all facets of the game.
So this week, it's a little bit, you mentioned this at the top of the show, because this has been final exam week, so the kids are mostly taking care of their academics. When will you get them into the gym again, and how much time we actually have to prepare for Stony Brook?
Well, we'll have some time to prepare for them. We only went an hour and a half today. You got to make sure that their guys are fresh mentally to make sure they get through the exam. So we went an hour and a half today. We'll probably go an hour 45 tomorrow, give them Thursday off, and then Friday, Saturday, do a really good job of dialing in on what we got to do to try to beat a Stony Brook team.
Most of the time when you lose a game that I know you feel like you probably should win, and I know that was the feeling pretty prevalent, I'm sure, on that bus ride home from Amherst in the snow this past weekend, you want to get right back out on the floor and try to get that taste out of your mouth again. Was there a little bit of that after playing UMass?
It is. It's like that all the time. Even when you win, you want to get back out there and try to play again because you did something well to win that game. Same thing when you lose. You want to get back out there because you're a little feisty. But you also have to keep in mind we got to get our kids to class. You got to take your coaching hat off and you got to do the right thing academically to make sure that they're eligible to play the next semester and we're moving them forward because the goal is to make sure that they're graduates of the school.
How important is it to get on a bit of a run before Big East play starts?
Very important. Very, very important. You want to make sure that you're healthy physically, you're healthy mentally, you're playing good basketball. Especially your first 2 games on the road is going to be rowdy in all those arenas that we go in. We're opening up the league play at St. John's. That's their first home game. Opening up at Creighton. That's their first home game. So people are going to be excited to watch their teams play their opening games. So, we got our work cut out. So we'll see what we're made of really quick.
All right. Coach, as always, thank you.
Thank you.
Let's hope we get healthy. Continue to get healthy, and let's stay prosperous as we get ready for this holiday season.
Looking forward to it. Happy holidays, safe travels to everybody. Make sure you have a nice, sober driver if you're going out during a holiday spirit. Make sure you have a key driver with you. Happy holidays to everyone.
Our next Ed Cooley radio show will not be until the 25th of January. We do not know, however, where that location will be because we're still working on that detail. So we'll keep you posted. We'll probably bring you word on that via social media. And also we'll have the announcement on our postgame show on our Friar radio broadcast here on 103.7. So we'll keep you up to date because we have a lot of regulars that are here again. And we thank you. And
thank
happy
you, guys.
holidays to everybody. Merry Christmas. It's great to see everybody. Our copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Providence Friars Sports Properties, a property of Learfield under the broadcast rights granted by Providence College. Our executive producer is J.J. Alberts. Thanks to Katie Searle and to Mike Tilley from Learfield as well. And for the coach, I'm John Rooke. Friars will be against Stony Brook at the Dunk, 2:30. Sunday afternoon, we'll have the broadcast right here on 103.7 WEEI FM beginning at 2:15 on Sunday. Plenty of time for you to come to the Dunk before the Patriots and the Steelers, so we hope to see you there. If not, be here with us on 103.7. Thanks to our friends at Cox Yorview as well. We'll see you for the next Ed Cooley Show on January the 25th, and happy holidays, everyone.